Hi, welcome to this new episode. So, we are starting a new series today. It might be a series, it might end up only being one episode, not quite sure yet. But the idea of today's episode is building a house with every single block in Minecraft as of the latest release. So, this is every block in Minecraft. Right here. As of the latest release. Ignore Queen Chalanga, the queen cat. Ignore that. It's fine. So anyway, this is all the blocks in Minecraft as of the latest release. We are counting a thing as a block as something that can be placed. So for example, oopsie, I just broke that sign. Don't know what it said. Oops. So this tulip can be placed, so it's a block. However, on the other hand, this chicken cannot be placed. See, I'm trying to place it. All I do is eat it, so it doesn't count. And then these spawn eggs, they can be placed. I can spawn this panda in, but I don't really want a bunch of animals overrunning the build, so we're just going to go with building blocks, things that can be placed. So you can't build with pandas. That'd be really weird. So, yeah. Now, there's a few notes. The blocks I'm not going to be using any end crystals or TNT or things that blow up unless I really decide to. Also, I'm going to count these coppers as the same block whether they're waxed or not, because if they're unwaxed, they're just going to all end up as this anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. The concrete powders are covered because if they get wet. These are covered because they'll melt. And then some things need hanging, so I just did that. And some things grow really far. The trees and stuff are covered by string so they don't grow up, so we can look at this properly. And then the only other exceptions are this is covered because it's a skulk sensor, and it would be, sorry if you heard that, it's really loud. So that's why that's covered. We're not going to count bedrock because it's not obtainable in the game. We also are not going to include player heads as I have no way as of yet to include them in the game. And final thing, the mine carts technically don't count because they're not, you can't build with them, but I might include them anyway. And this is where TNT and a TNT mine cart would go if I was using them. And I believe that's everything except what that sign said that I accidentally broke and I can't remember what it said. Yeah. But anyway, this is every block in Minecraft. We're going to be building a house. So, here is the house layout that I'm going for. I'm going to build 4 towers in the corners. And I'm going to build a big house around the middle. It might be 2 stories. We're just going to see what I have to do with all these blocks. Yeah, it's a lot of blocks. So we're going to see how it goes. And this is going to be the house layout. And also, this video is going to be recorded in different clips instead of the one long video like I normally do. So it might be a rather sudden cut between the two. So, yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next clip then. Okay, here's our first update. We have currently got some of the basic woods in with an outline of the towers, the front door. I decided to do each of the main towers starting out with a color of wood to get those basic woods out of the way. As you can see, we're breaking the blocks we've used. So this is how it's looking so far. Currently still working on this front part, and I was gonna add the stripped part here. See this one right here? I was gonna add a line of this, but I don't think it looks very good. It looks too flat, don't you think? So I'm gonna find a different use. I'm gonna find a different use for that. So yeah, that's how it's going right now. Okay, we have 4 towers now, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm trying to decide what wall color. So I'm thinking maybe I should do it each wall in a different color that matches up with the base of the tower. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe that is not even, is it? I'm thinking maybe we do it like this. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Great, it's uneven. 6, so that's probably enough, and then that matches up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, so 16, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Is that uneven? Let me check this. This is not, but let me head in a straight line from this direction. If I crash into the jungle block, we're good. I do. Okay. So we've got that problem worked out. Now, since all these things have been used, we have wiped out a few things. As you can tell, I've added a stained glass window. It's supposed to be like a boat, like diagonally on the ocean. But I don't know if you can tell that, but that's what it's supposed to be. And that why I got rid of a few colors of stained glass panes. So that got rid of a few stained glass panes, which is looking good. So, and of course, a few colors of that. We got rid of multiple stairs and slabs on the mini towers. And now I'm going to start work on the sides. Okay, I have decided on the walls. So I went with the pale oak planks. And it did look like this when I just added a whole bunch of pale oak on top of the bottom strip. It looked like this. So it looked like just, well, I was gonna say, if this was like this as well. I'm just gonna do it because I need to show you. If I did this, it just looks like, this is what I call my Neapolitan wall, okay? There's strawberry, there's chocolate, and there's vanilla. This looks like there's a whole bunch of vanilla on top of like a smidge of strawberry and chocolate. This would be a terrible Neapolitan. So, I have fixed it by adding these circles. And these, well, they're not really circles, are they? They're kind of like hemispheres. They look like the hemispheres of the Earth in smaller. Anyway, that looks better, so it doesn't look like there's too much vanilla ice cream on top of the strawberry and the chocolate. And then on this wall, we went with the same kind of thing, except these two woods. So this is like a peanut butter vanilla chocolate Neapolitan. So no strawberry, peanut butter instead. And then the back wall, I thought that birch wouldn't look as good with, sorry, not birch, pale oak. Wouldn't look as good with the back wall. So instead, I went with the bamboo. And I think that looks okay. So that means we can remove the bamboo planks. Okay. So that's what that's what the house is looking like so far. I'm gonna try to see if I can add the mosaic part in here somewhere. Like, see what this looks like? Does that look horrible? Not if I think I keep it going all the way up the wall. It might look better. Let me see. Let's see how it looks, shall we? There it is. How's that look? If I do it striping up that way. Okay, if I do it like this, it'll look better. I hope. Looks like those musical pipes. Okay. That I think definitely looks better, and I'm just going to do a little bit out to this side as well, just because I think it needs it. And how does that look if it had it right here? Okay, I think we're going to leave it for now. It looks okay, but it's a bit much, so I'll take a little bit out, but that's how it's looking right now. Okay, we're starting work on the kitchen, so I've laid in this tiled floor. That I don't think it's going to go all the way, but I think that's enough. And then I'm going to go get some wood to line the rest of the floor. Now, what wood are we going to go with? We're nearest the spruce tower. So I'm going to go with the stripped spruce wood. We're going to see how that looks. Let me see how this looks. Stripped spruce wood. How does it look? Okay, that looks fine. That looks fine. That looks fine. That'll work. Okay. So let me go take that off the list, and then it's time for the next part of this, which is the actual things in the kitchen. So obviously, of course, I think we need some stone appliances, or some stone tables is what I mean by that. So we're going to try out the andesite, and we're also going to try out the stone brick. And we're going to see what we come out with. We'll try the polished andesite, and we'll see what we come out with. Okay. So let's start with the polished andesite, which I think is going to be the best. Then we'll try the normal andesite. How does that look? I don't think it looks as good as the polished. And then stone brick. No, polished andesite wins. Okay. Polished andesite wins. Let me make some stuff out of it then. So we need the counter, and this is where some of the redstone pieces are going to get to come in handy, because we can use them for appliances. And then I need we're going to try both of these for the, not tables, the countertops. So let me see. I think oak looks best. And then this is going to be a dishwasher, and I need some iron and an iron door for a fridge. So this is going to use multiple blocks here. We're going to use this and this. And we're going to use a lever and a dispenser. So where's my lever? And a dispenser. Is this a dispenser? Yes. Okay. Dispenser, lever. I used oak pressure plates, oak, and I used iron door, iron block. Okay. Now we can go back in. If I can get over the walls. Ooh, I forgot to mark off the polished andesite. 1 second. Gotta mark that off before I forget. Okay, so where's my polished andesite? Here it is. We use this, and I want this. Okay. Perfect. Now we can continue. It might be better to have counter space like this. And then the ones in the corners. Perfect. Okay. And then we're gonna have our fridge here. This is how I build a fridge. I will go mark off a chest, but for right now I'm gonna go get it here. You just put this open and shut it. Okay, that's a fridge. I need to go get mark the chest off the list. Where's my chest? That's my chest. Okay. Chest is off the list. Since it's creative mode, doesn't matter if we time set day. And always weather clear with it, just in case. Okay, so we got all that installed. We need this. So we're gonna use the dispenser and then I need a lever. So this is gonna be the dishwasher, I think. Do I like that look? I've got to use it because I think it's the best idea. So we'll make that. And then we've got a lever for that already. So we might cover it with a birch trap door. Okay, I'm gonna cover those with, does that look good though? Maybe I'll cover it with a countertop. Actually, that looks like counter space. So I think if I'm gonna go mark off the birch trap door, and that's how we're gonna cover the dishwasher. Let me mark off the birch trap door. Done. And that is almost our kitchen complete. We haven't got walls. I suppose we need a little table. Let me go see what we have for that. So probably some spruce this, and probably spruce this, and I'm probably gonna need this. I'd love to use this stuff though, so let's see if I can get that used in this spruce area. That looks good, but it's not quite functional. Let me see. Can I use these as serving places? Probably. That utilizes the oak pressure plates, and then if I put the fence over here, let me see. What can I do here? I can use these as the baseboards. Oh, that's smart. Okay. I can use these as the baseboards. What do I use as the in-between wall? Right now, I'm going to use this, just the spruce on the bottom, and then we're going to add these as baseboards. So, what did I use? I used the pressure plates, the logs, and I used the pressure plates, and the logs, and what was the other thing? Ooh, the trapdoors. Okay, that's that all done. I might as well use the spruce door while I'm at it to add the door to the kitchen. So that's that. Okay, let me go mark off the door, and then we can work on the walls or the next room. Alright, we've made significant progress now. I have added, as you can clearly tell, the outside of the house looking pretty much the same, but the top roofs of the house, as you can tell, things are different. So we're going to give a quick overview. This is the new, I'll give a final tour at the end, so that'll be good. This is the new hallway. We got the signs covered. This covered a lot of stone bricks. Some of these are infested too, so we got those covered. Grindstones, tough bricks, stairs, slabs. Those are slabs in the middle. See? This is a slab. And then we got the tough bricks, the walls covered, the signs, we got these covered. And then these are mechanical crafters that look like they have faces. And they also look like telephones from this side, so I made them telephones. I added this room. This is our dining room, like party room kind of thing. Like this was for a lot of people, not for private use, of course. That's kitchen art. Shows you that this is the new bathroom. We covered the banners, and yes, I dyed them, but they are white banners originally, so I'm counting them as just white. We got birch signs, pressure plates, cauldrons, tripwires, end rods even counted. So this is a pretty good counting room. We got barrels and oak logs and pale oak trapdoors and walls and concretes and things like that. And then over here we got the art room. We have colored rugs, and this covers all the banners and the bells and the funny pieces that you don't really know what else to do with. And 2 books. Composters. This because I feel like this is a person where an artist would live, and they might have painted their chest even. So this covers the trapped chest and lodestones and a whole bunch of other things. So that's where we are right now. Alright, we're back for the final segment. So I have finished basically. I couldn't find anywhere to put all the boats and the minecarts, which I'm not sure if we're counting anyway. Technically, I could place these. Try not to give too big of a reveal here. Right here. But see, I don't know why I would do that. But I could. But I could. I'm not sure why I would, but I could. And then, as for the boats, there's just so many different types of boats that it's not really going to work. So we're going to give it a final view. It is finished. It is a mess, but it is finished. So we're going to do a really quick tour because this video is probably getting a bit long, though I haven't actually edited it yet. Obviously, because I'm recording. So, here we go. So this is the outlines of the house. We used a lot of different colored blocks here. This is just by upside down stairs and downstairs next to each other. We go inside. We got the main hallway. We have, these are kind of like guards. I was imagining knights in suits of armor. And then I needed to use redstone blocks, so I made like little people out of them. And then these are telephone booths, see? Yep. And then if you go this way, we got the dining room. It's looking pretty good. Is this correct? That's better. Now we got the dining room. It's looking pretty good. We got a tiled floor, actual dining rooms, pot flower holders, so that's good. Okay, we have the kitchen. We got this is our stove and our storage, food storage up there. You got this, and the anvil, of course. You got the blast furnaces out here in case you need to do some blast furnacing. You got this covered in signs made of sea lanterns. You got a first bathroom with this mirror banner design. We got like the wardrobe here, etc. And then we have a tower, which is a painting, and this will lead to somewhere I will show you in actually a minute. I will show you that in a minute. First, we're going to go up this tower. We got paintings on the wall, and we have, this is our mushroom tower. We can study our mushrooms. We got a book to write about our mushrooms, mushroom tower. Okay. If you go this way through the mushroom tower, this is the hallway. Soul lanterns, soul torches leads you to the library. We use hanging vines in here. We got these as like ladders. I think I did something wrong, but they're supposed to be ladders. We got these as like torches you might find in like a more magical library. So we got that, and then we got those. Okay, that's that library. It is made out of all nether blocks, so that was how I covered the nether blocks. We got this oak tower right here. Got more paintings. This is the painting tower. As you can see, the paint from up there has spilled down on the ground down here. And we got some plants in here as well. So we go up, and this is where we're painting some new murals. We got the sun, the thing, the pink, paintings on the wall. These are computers, but these ones are used and these ones aren't. Yeah, so this is the painting tower. I don't know why everything is white, so you can paint on it. This is the playroom. So, like, playroom is not in a room you play in. Sorry, everything burned down before this video started. So, not as a room you play in, but more as a room that would put on a play. Yeah. And so that's the stage. And then this room's the dressing room for the actors and actresses. It did burn down, so I hope there aren't a few blocks missing, but there could be. And then this is how you get backstage. You just climb back here. It's very skinny, I know, I'm aware of that. But it was a hazard. And then these are resin bricks in orange. We themed this red and orange to get rid of a lot of those interesting blocks, like resin. Okay, this is the playroom. You see, we got colors, painting, reading, writing books. Yes, these are stories, but I didn't actually finish them. This is I think that's correct. Lodestones, just you can make up whatever you want for those. Composters, chests, that use the trap chest because like you painted around the little thing. We got enchantment table, fletching table, etc. Loom, painting, just for fun. And that's the downstairs. Now, to go upstairs, let's start. So each of these segments, there's 4 segments here. Each of them has a different color, and the color, and then each of them has a different copper. So let me start at the end. This is our fully waxed copper room, and you can, it's not really weatherproof here, but this is how you see out the big window. So this is the red and orange waxed copper room. Then we move on to the waxed weathered copper. Let me check. We move on to the exposed or maybe weathered chisel copper. Yeah, this is exposed copper. So this is the exposed copper. We have another bathroom here, fish themed. These are supposed to be fish, more green colored. And then we have our jukeboxes over here, and as you can see, everything is yellowy and orangish. And then this is the upstairs. You know how there's probably people controlling the curtains and the sound and things like that? I know they're normally on the bottom of the stage, but I felt like they should be up here. These had desks, they burnt down though. Instead, so they are on top of the stage. That's what all the redstone's used for. And then we have the next room, the weathered copper room. And we got greenish, yellowy theme here. And we got the tree bedroom. Everything is tree themed. You got bunk beds, you got trees. You got brown and green, you got trees. You got trees. So there's all sorts of trees in there. Then finally, the actually weathered. So this is end stone room over here. We got a note block so you can place some notes. And this is my bedroom. Pink, purpley themed. We got a divider here. We got maces as the seats. Mace cores, you know, as the seats so you can sit on them. The little tiny seats. That is, we're going to fix that. We don't need thunder striking in the background. Okay. So this is where you would sit down. And then there's amethyst crystals and pink beds. So I use all 3 colors. And then this is the playroom, connected playroom. And this needs more torches because this burned down as well. This is like supposed to be a ball pit, but it didn't work out very well. And then this is like, you could be whatever you want, really. It's supposed to kind of look like a car steering wheel or rocket ship steering wheel. It's your imagination, really. And then all these candles. It could be crayons. It could be markers. It could be anything you want. Okay, so that's this floor. And then you have, yes, there. This is the pile of, kind of like the pile of stuff you didn't know what to do with, so you put it in the corner, but also it's just supposed to be a pile of anything. Like, kind of like you took all your music discs, you put them in one thing. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but I could be. So anyway, this is, then you can go up here, and you get to this floor. These control the lights, the copper bulbs. And then this is the disco floor, so this does turn on and off. It's supposed to be a disco ball. It did not work out very well, but I needed something to do with the redstone lamps. So you can turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, and then the music discs are right there. So theoretically, you'd have people down here. And then these are chairs you can move in and out of here if you're in survival mode for musical chairs, because that's important. You didn't see that. And that is it for this room. So now we're gonna take a quick tour over this direction. So to this side of the house, we have first of all, we enter Pumpkin Honey Land, amazing land. Then we enter it merges into mycelium with mushrooms and a little bit of deserty cacti over here. Then it merges into the slime pool where you have Sakuras fruit growing up out of the slime. Maybe there's a monster under there. Then we have the Skulk Warden room. I'm sorry if this makes you feel loud sounds. Maybe I should stop moving. And then we got the dragon egg hiding in plain sight. So that's here too. And the end has invaded a little bit of the Skulk. Who knows what could happen to the Warden. Here we got the snowy place. We got powdered snow right here. And we got some ice and all sorts of different kinds of ice. This is where the penguins live. If there are penguins in Minecraft, there aren't though. This we enter the cave. They have hanging roots and ores and a dripstone piece and a pale moss place. Ooh, that's cool. It opened. And a trial chamber, because why else would you come in here if you weren't looking for one? And a little lava pool. And up, as you can see, we got all sorts of things. Spore blossoms and all sorts of gems, including one of the rarest gems in the game, stone, emerald, ore. Then we have lava, which burned down my house twice, and I had to rebuild it both times. Okay, so, well, we burned down half of it. Okay, and then finally, this is the library I showed you. We already looked in there. We got a path here, and we go through here, this is our garden area. So there's no benches because I didn't include them, but we got all sorts of flowers, as you can see. I might actually build a bench on camera for you. So let me just do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to build a few benches for you because there's probably not enough, seeing as there was 0. Then let's do some little chairs. Kind of longer chairs. This is leaf litter, which I'm very excited about. And then, yeah, that should be enough. And then that's that. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So now we got all that done. That is complete. And that is the garden. We got the hay and the melons, because where else would you put them? And then finally we got our pond. A bunch of firefly bushes, some drip leaf underneath. It kind of looks more like an ocean because of all the coral and sugar cane and sponge and all that. So that is the house made of every block in Minecraft, but you might notice there's a few things missing, like multiple colored beds and some of the colors of candles and things like that. That is because there is a secret. Where is it? You can enter it from this room. So you might notice that the baseboards are made of trapdoors, which was my idea, but then I realized I needed a different room. So I invented this room. This is the iron room. We got reinforced blocks, and this is the way out and a painting. You go up here, you flip this trapdoor, and now we are in the attic. This is where all the beds are. This is a desk that had so many bugs they couldn't get it to work, so they put it in the attic. This is a statue of a person they had, but they didn't really like it, so they moved it to the attic. This is all their extra storage chests. You know how you have those bins of things in the attic and things? That's what these are. And then there's extra beds, and then this is like some modern art they had, but they didn't really like it, so they moved it up here. The black candles didn't really fit. The lever is just to keep the trapdoor up. I don't remember what this is supposed to be. I knew what it was a minute ago, though. And then we have some chains holding the attic up, and that is the attic. So, this is the house built of every block in Minecraft. We were allowed to repeat blocks, of course, and it's kind of ugly, aerial view, but it's okay at the same time. However, you might notice that there is one more block. This is the aerial view. You might notice that there is one more block to place. What is that block, you ask? This. This has been growing ever since I placed it at the very beginning of the world. And this is how long I've been playing this world in Minecraft to make this house. I don't know if it's accurate, but it probably is. So, if you would like to do the calculations about how much this grows, this is how tall it is. This is how long it takes me to get to the top. 10 seconds, maybe? And then there are, if you want to do the math, there are of how long this grows to how long I was in the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 high. So, yep, so this is the final block to place. The mess in the ground is because some blocks had to be placed on specific things. And I'm going to place it right here. So now our house is done. Thank you for watching and for staying throughout the video if you're here, and for watching this video, and hopefully you enjoyed watching me make a house out of every block in Minecraft, even if it's rather ugly. But it's been made. So that is it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!